Tonight's book of choice is one I have been saving for a rainy day when I feel like I need it most, and I have felt a little bit slumpy lately, so I've decided today is the day I'm picking it up. It is actually a contemporary romance, which I've not read a whole lot of this year just because I haven't been in the mood for it. I haven't been vibing with them, but I read the first book in this interconnected series earlier this year and fell in love with it, and that was Savor It by Tara DeWitt. This book follows Sage and Fisher, and it is just so much fun. I think I gave it like 4.5 stars or something like that. And it takes place in this small town called Spoons, Oregon, which is the title of this interconnected series. And the second book is Left of Forever. And we saw a glimpse of them in this first book, just enough to be intrigued because this is actually a second chance romance. We're following Rin and Ellis, and they have a kid together, a kid who's like 18 years old and about to go off to college. And so I haven't read the blurb, but to my understanding, we are following these two as they go on this road trip to drop their kid off at college. And I think they slowly start to realize there's still some feelings there, and while they're trying to get closure, something else happens. I'm not totally sure that's correct, but I will keep y'all updated. I am excited because I think I'll love it, but I'm also nervous because I am not a big second chance romance kind of gal. And, you know, they've known each other for 18 plus years. And I'm assuming we're going to go back and forth with the past and the present, and I have a feeling I'm not gonna enjoy those past chapters, but we'll see. It could surprise me. I do love Tara DeWitt as an author, so yeah, let's start and find out. Okay, really cute. There is an author's note before we dive into chapter 1. And she says, Left of Forever is the book of my heart for many personal reasons. I met my husband when I was 17. We went to 2 proms together, went to college together, got married too young, and had babies before we had fully developed frontal lobes. Staying together and staying happy together does not come without its share of struggles. And you know what? So often the villain is simply life. And she just goes on, which is so real, and I feel like she's the perfect person to write this story. Okay, 5 pages later, and 2 furry friends have joined me. This is Hank, this is Henry, if you were curious. But I am in our female main character's point of view, Rin, and she's thinking about where things began to go wrong. And she says, so much of it toward the end is a blur. Like I've been doing my best not to feel anything while I've been living it. Looking back, it's still hard to make out the shape of things. And I really appreciate that because my biggest pet peeve with second chance romances are that there's this big conflict and we as the reader don't know that reason of why they split up in the first place until the very end of the book, or like 3/4 of the way through. And I feel like this right here tells me that that is not the case, and maybe there's multiple reasons. So I'm already happy. He's a firefighter. really interesting. I just made it to page 91, which is part 2 of this book, and we are back to present day. So far, the entire book, aside from like one chapter, has been in the past. And I don't mean like the past where they're 18 again and, you know, finding out that they're pregnant and getting married and all that, but only 1 year ago, which is really interesting, and I'm really loving it. Not a lot has been said between our two main characters, but at the same time, like, they don't need words. So much is being said without words. It is building up to a lot, and I'm very, very excited. I'm gonna continue reading and dive back into this part 2. I am very excited to see how this story will play out. It's so windy. I am currently 71% through this book with 2 hours left, and my plan is to finish up tonight. It is currently 9:30, but my husband and I are staying up late having a sleepover, so my goal is to get this finished tonight, but I wanted to share some thoughts before I wrap this up. I believe I gave y'all a synopsis on what I thought this book was about before I got started. And I think everything I told y'all is true. We are following this couple who isn't really a couple because they've been divorced now for a few years, but they've known each other their whole lives. So this is a childhood friends to lovers book, which is my least favorite trope of like all time, but that's okay. I love Tara DeWitt. So they've known each other forever. They accidentally got pregnant at 18. And now it's like 18 years later, they just dropped their son off at college, and this MMC is just a man who yearns. He wants this female main character back so badly. Like, he would do anything to have her back, as he should. And he pitched this idea of a road trip after dropping off their son, just to kind of like finally get that closure, see if, you know, they can maybe make this work, you know, talk things through, or if they just need to stick as friends and kind of just let that past go. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. They are road tripping across California. So this book has been way more scenic and descriptive than I imagined. It's kind of reminding me of People We Meet on Vacation. Now, I haven't read that in like 4 years, so I could be wrong. But you know how like that couple traveled, you know, from place to place? That's kind of what this is reminding me of. But I really didn't like that book, so. There's a few things in this book that would make me not like it, but because it's Tara DeWitt and she can do no wrong, I am enjoying this. I would guess that I'm gonna give it like a 4 stars. I do want to mention that I am loving the communication in this book. Like I said, this is a second chance romance, and they actually are doing a good job of talking things through and diving into the past, even though it hurts to get to the bottom of things. These two characters could so easily just like fall back into like their old routine, bad habits, but they actually are working things through, and I really, really like that. And one last thing I need to mention is just how hot this book is. The tension and their chemistry is insane. And I haven't even gotten to anything spicy or anything like that, but I'm going to read y'all a quote that, you know, kind of encapsulates how I'm feeling. So we're in the man's point of view, and it says, "She holds my hand during the ride over to Capitola, and I feel like I am honest to God being tickled under my skin. Glee crackling and sputtering in every vein of my body. Fireworks all over. I thread her fingers right back through mine the moment she slides out of the car when we get to the restaurant." And I was reading this with the biggest smile on my face, kicking my feet. I am obsessed with them, and that's over them holding hands. Also, that's on page 187. So, love that. I'm not calling this a slow burn because I don't think it is, but love that. Okay, now let me get back to reading and finish this up. So we just got introduced to some Australian people, and it says, "Please don't ask us to say R, nar, or anything of Cleo or condensation." That is so funny. If you know, you know. I am not over-exaggerating when I tell y'all, for the last 45 minutes, I have just been sitting, staring at my bookshelves, looking on Kindle, looking on Goodreads to try and find my next book. I even consulted my best friend Elizabeth, who's also a big reader, to try and figure it out, and she was giving me great recommendation after recommendation, and I was shooting them all down for no reason. I had all of these requirements that I wanted this specific book to fit. I wanted it to be short. I didn't want it to be romance. I wanted it to be a part of a series so I didn't have to read anything new, and that just, it wasn't working. I was being too picky, and I realized I'm just not really in the mood for anything. So I took it to TikTok, looked up like most binge-worthy books, and I have decided on one that I do already own, and that is The Unmaking of June Farrow by Adrienne Young. I have not read anything by this author, but I know so many people love this. I don't even want to read the synopsis and share with y'all, I'm sorry, but I'm just going to dive in and see how I feel. I'm telling myself there's no pressure. It's not like I need to read 100 pages of this. I just need to start. I don't want to speak too soon, and I say that as I'm on page 14. But I think I'm going to really enjoy this book. If not the story, at least this author's writing. I am a very emotional person, and I am getting choked up by how she writes. This is so up my alley. It's very naturey and atmospheric. A bit of a witchy vibe right now. Like I said, I'm an emotional person. I could cry at the drop of a hat, and I just got to chapter 2 and I'm tearing up. I am really enjoying this. Hello and good morning. I am here to do a very chatty update on just what I've been up to for the past week. I've only showed y'all me reading, but I kind of regret that. I've done so many other crafting things that I wish I would have showed y'all. So here I am to just talk about 1,000,001 crafts. But for starters, I'm wearing my cute PJs, and I just made one of like the best coffees ever. So off to a great morning. And it is Sunday, the Sunday before I have to go back to work. I've been off for so long with Thanksgiving and it has been so much fun. I don't think I was meant to work this 9 to 5. I think I was meant to spend my days dilly-dallying. Also, if you just heard a bunch of noise, that is because my cat Archie is messing with the Christmas wrapping stuff. Hey, let's not do that. My room is literally so messy, but that's okay. I still need to continue wrapping Christmas gifts, so that's why it's not all put away yet. But he loves to be held like this, and I just think it's the cutest thing ever. He's my little baby. Okay, as I was saying, I've started wrapping Christmas presents. Both of these are for my mom. This is actually the first year that we've decided to like draw names and only get Christmas gifts for one person besides the grandparents and grandchildren. And then I also have my husband's side of the family. So I have a lot more wrapping to do, but it's been fun. I just got new materials, which I'm obsessed with these. Look at these like Christmas boxes. I think these are so pretty. And then I also got this paper tissue. I wanted it to be simple, but I like that the trees add some little details. So sticking with Christmas, I've just started wrapping. I need to do more of it. I'd like to catch up on the current gifts I have, like to make sure everything is wrapped. Then I also did a fun craft just with boxes to make them look like gingerbread houses. I'll overlay a video here to show y'all, but that was super easy and I already had stuff for it, so that was fun. And then another Christmas craft I have on my to-do list. I'm not sure I'll get to it in this video, but it's to make those paper chains. I just bought new paper from Hobby Lobby and I cannot wait to do that. It adds so much whimsy to a space. Yes, that is all things Christmas related that I've been up to. Then the next hobby that I wanted to share with y'all is a new one for me. It is scrapbooking. I have always watched my mom scrapbook growing up and it's just so creative and I'm just so excited to have my own to look back on. I've officially decided to start my own. I am a little overwhelmed because I've decided to go back 4 years from when I first met my husband to like start. So I have 4 years to make up for, but that's okay. Like this is a hobby, it doesn't need to be in a rush. And my first spread is actually when I got my first cat, my first pet on my own. I just showed y'all him. That is Archie, the love of my life. He is perfect. I did already have a dog. This is my family dog, Molly, who y'all see all the time. Love both of them. Love all our pets. If you didn't know, we do have 6 pets. But this cat was like the first one on my own, so I gave him a whole page for his gotcha day. As for the others, I'm honestly not sure if I want to show y'all completely, just because it is so personal. But I'll give you a sneak peek. This one was from when my husband asked me to be his girlfriend, my 21st birthday, some beach trips, and then my sister's wedding. So I've only done about 4 spreads. I've caught up 1 year. I think I'm currently in August of 2022, so I have so much more to do, but it's so much fun. Like it doesn't feel like a chore. That is just a look into behind the scenes of what I've been doing besides when I'm reading, like I have showed y'all. But I would usually audiobook something while doing all of these crafts, but me and my husband actually decided to watch Stranger Things. He has seen it, I never have, so we binge watched season 1 and it was actually so much fun. I'm not a big TV person, but I did really enjoy it and I'm excited to start the next season. Okay, enough of all of that. Now let's do some B-roll and time lapses. I would like to rearrange my bookshelves because I have all of these books I need to put somewhere, and then I would also like to wrap a few more presents, so let's go do that. Hello guys, it has been a few days, but yes, I'm wearing the same sweatshirt y'all saw me in last time, mind your business. But I just wanted to pop on here for one last update because I'm 50% through the unmaking of June Faro, and although my Kindle says I have like 5 hours left, I am going to try and read all of it tonight. The book has just gotten so good and I'm so intrigued to see how it ends that I just want to sit down and binge it. So that is my plan. My current thoughts are that I'm hooked, clearly. Also, there's still a lot of beautiful writing, but there's not as much as I was thinking there would be when I originally talked to y'all at the beginning. So if that's your style, then you have something to look forward to here and there. And if you don't like it, I don't think it'll bother you. It's not too much. But my number one feeling is stress, because I don't see how this book is not going to break my heart. Like, the way things are going right now, I don't know how we're going to make every single character happy, and I'm so scared. That's also a motivator to get me to finish this, but yeah, we'll see. I'll talk to y'all later. %, an hour and 40 minutes left. I don't think I'm going to stay up that late because it's 11 p.m. but I'm so stressed out reading this. I did indeed stay up until like 1:30 that night to finish this book, and then I gave it 5 stars. So let's talk about it. Guys, this book was just such a surprise. It's one of those that I'm mad that it sat on my shelf for so long and I never picked it up. But I also think it found me at the right time. And I'm not sure if I, immediately read this book when I got it a year or so ago, that it would be a 5-star like it is today. It's not that I think this book is for a mature audience, but I do think it hits harder when you're a bit older, which makes me excited to read it again in the future, because I'm trying not to say too much, but reading it right now, I am picturing myself as one character, but it'll be interesting, to shift my perspective and maybe put myself in her grandmother's shoes. Oh, y'all, I will never get over this book. I could cry right now. It was just so beautiful, and I'm so excited to try more from this author. I had no idea that she is the author of, those books with the faces. I'll put them up right here. This is a YA pirate duology, I think. I've seen these covers every time I walk into a bookstore, and I had no idea it was the same author. So I'm gonna give those a shot. And the last thing I want to say about this is that I'm so glad I went into it blind, and I highly recommend y'all do the same if you've not had the pleasure to read this yet. Don't read the flap, don't read the synopsis, don't see what your mutuals have rated it. Maybe just pick it up from the library so you're not spending money on a book you may not like, but pick it up, read it, and then tell me what you think. But that is all. Thank you so much for joining me as I read these 2 books, both over 4 stars. I am quite pleased, and I hope to see y'all in my next reading vlog, which should be a little more Christmassy. Bye guys.